Hello, all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skeptok.
I'm Prospero.
Fat Platypus.
Chaosy.
And I'm Della Hazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as Minions. And special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host for this evening, Adam of Clan Veggie the First, or Mr. Adam. I'm covering for Sanguine. We just ended our yearly camping trip, and we made it back a little bit late, and I haven't heard from Sanguine just yet, so I hope he gets home okay. But he does have a longer ride to get home from where we were at than we. So, but yes, I'm covering for Sanguine. I guess open forum. If anybody wants to join and hang out, by all means. Otherwise, I'm gonna share with you some stories about what happened on the trip. So we started this a couple years ago. A bunch of us minions, we go camping. You know, see some sights, go on hikes, and eat a lot of food. Because as you know, Sanguine is a cook, a really, really good cook, and he was cooking us a bunch of meals over the week. So that was fun. Let's see. I believe we took off on Monday morning, and we didn't go all the way because this year we went back again to Rock Island, that's up in Wisconsin, and we couldn't book the usual hotel that we get out there on Washington Island, so we had to go for a different one, and this different one. Actually, it's a little bit better, bigger space. It has like a loft. It's really crazy. You know, honestly, I'd be showing pictures right now, but I didn't upload anything. Like I said, I had just got back. We got back maybe a half hour before showtime, and I was like, fuck. So I quickly setting things up and getting back, since after sitting in a car for a long time. But anyways, otherwise I'd be showing you pictures. But yeah, so it had a loft, nice balcony, and everything was pretty cool. We got there on Monday. We got everything rearranged in our packs, and then we headed off the next day to Rock Island. We made a couple of pit stops on Washington Island, and then hit up good old Rock Island. Now, Rock Island is pretty much a bunch of little campsites that are spread out throughout this island. It used to be a place for for the lighthouse because that area is very dangerous for shipping back in the day. I think they called it the Dead Man's Door or some shit like that, because there's a lot of shipwrecks out there. And so we managed to get a campsite. It was a little bit further away, but it was closer to the beach. So we were listening to the constant waves, and so that was pretty cool. The bad thing was it was right next to a fucking cemetery. There's 2 cemeteries on the fucking island, and for some reason we're setting up camp right next to this cemetery. I took a few pictures of who was there. I think it's like a wife and 2 children. But yeah, you can go in there, you can see all that stuff. And the other bad thing was we were right on a pathway for the beach and the graveyard. So, yeah, we didn't get too much privacy. We were just hanging out at the campsite, but no, we set up camp, cooked some food, listened to some music, and built a fire. My big thing is I like building fires, and I don't know if that technically makes me a pyromaniac, because it's not like I want to see fires go uncontrolled, but I do like building the bonfire, the campfire, and keeping it going. I like that's the other thing, is maintaining it. So I ended up doing that, and went to sleep, and yeah. The next morning I got up super early, and I had to see what the beach was like, so I just go, and it's just a couple of steps up a hill, and right over the hill is the lake, and it's fucking beautiful. I went and sat out there for a while. It was a nice step away from all the technology. I didn't have my earbuds, I didn't have my phone, I was just chilling out there. But then I started remembering all those weird videos about the creatures that live in the sand, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So I hoofed it back to the campsite, and yeah, waited for everybody to wake up, and started making a campfire for breakfast. And Sanguine made this like cilantro salsa thing, and it sounded pretty easy. Although I do now that I think about it, I think I forgot one of the main ingredients. But it was like cilantro, 2 jalapeno peppers, and 2 habanero peppers, and then there was something else that he added to it. But man, this stuff was good. It has a sneaky spice kick to it. Like, you're eating it and you're like, oh yeah, dude, this tastes pretty good. It's cilantro, And then all of a sudden, it's just like, shaboom. So I mixed it with potato and corn, and I was just eating that for breakfast, while Quiz was going on a steak streak. I believe every day, because today's his birthday, mind you. So if you get a chance, go wish him a happy birthday. But yeah, he had a steak every day. I don't know how he fucking managed to do that. Oh yeah, on Monday, we were riding up, and we took a stop at a town called Monatoic, I believe it was called. And because there was a used video game store that Quiz wanted to check out. And so we get there, it was pretty early, but not like too early. It was like 9:30, and we're like, okay, so since we're here, let's get a bite to eat, right? Oh yeah, I should say hi to chat. Chance the dog, yeah. What's going on, Raymond Lewis? Welcome. Yeah, I'm just talking about the camping trip. Quiz, Sanguine, and I went on to we got back today. Hopefully Sanguine is safe, still driving home. But yeah, so we went to this town, and everything was closed for some reason, even though it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. No, it's Quiz's birthday. I don't know what he's doing. When we got back, I know he went to the bathroom. I think he went downstairs to get some. I kind of took a nap, and then I woke up. I was like, "Oh shit, it's late." So we're at this town. Store's closed. We go to get a bite to eat, and I swear it's like a pirate lady, and she's washing cups, and she's just giving us this death stare. And we go in, and we sit down, and I'm looking at like, okay, give me an omelet, and Quiz is like, I'm gonna start this steak streak, and he wanted to eat steak every day, for the week. So we asked for steak and eggs, and the chef comes out and he's like, it's ground steak, right? And I guess it's steak that you just beat with a hammer or some shit, because it looked pretty flat and didn't look like the steaks that he was eating later. But he said it was fine, so he got himself steak and eggs. I had me a delicious omelet, Greek omelet. And we took off. But the whole time we were eating, this lady was just staring at us. She was sitting at the end of the counter, just like fucking. And there was another lady sitting at the counter too. She was like doing work or some shit, but I don't know. It was a weird town. So we get out of there, and as we're walking back to the car, I notice on a building, a familiar symbol. If you played a lot of World War II games, and I think it was just a bunch of random shops, but on the top, flanking the center emblem or whatever, I think it was a shield or something, were two swastikas. Now, I think they were bricks put in that place, but the brick had like a lighter stripe in the center, so it was like, if you're looking at it from the side view, like, okay, say the brick, like the top and the bottom half of the brick was darker than the center brick, and then it was positioned in a way that resembled a swastika. So I'm like, hey, Quiz, maybe the reason this town is so clean, there's no homeless people roaming around, and the reason that lady was mean mugging us, I think we found the Nazi town. And then all of a sudden, just everything, we just started seeing everything. If we saw any sort of German name, we're like, oh shit! And the fucking Indiana Jones bad guy theme played in the background. Dun 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 dun, and fucking freaking out, and we're like, what is their favorite game to play? Is Spot the Secret Nazi. And it's a board game, and there's you got to flip these cards, and you got to go through the board with your pieces, and at the end of the commercial, they're like, "Oh, Jimmy's the secret Nazi," and he goes, "Oh," and it's fucking, yeah, we had a lot of bad Nazi jokes going on for pretty much most of the vacation. If we could sneak it in there, we'd sneak it in there. But yeah, back to the campsite. So the first night at the campsite, we pretty much hung out. Everybody set up their gear, and we passed out. Next morning, I went to the beach, came back, started a fire. We had usually at the campsite, it's good to have something to poke the fire with. We had something, but it was full of sap, and it slowly was breaking in half. So I went looking around, and I found really cool stick, right? I'm a dude, hey, cool stick. I take it back, and I went to go clean it off, just smooth it out a little bit with the axe, and I accidentally chopped it in half. So I was like, fuck. But they were at least long enough that you were workable with it. So it kind of resembled the Cervantes swords from Soul Calibur. So, of course, when everybody was awake and we were all around the campfire, I had to show them. I was like, yeah, look at these Cervantes swords. And I started doing the moves. And Quiz is like, dude, I'm a main Cervantes player. Let me show you how it's actually done. And he goes and proceeds to do all these fucking Cervantes moves. Needless to say, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you find a good stick, you find a good stick. And you're going to swing it around like a sword. But yeah, so we left those at the campsite. Hopefully they last. And that's the funny thing too. And I wish we knew what number we were at, or we could remember what number we were at. The previous year, we had found a really good stick that we etched into. We made just a very simple design around it, and then we carved MOTZ, and I believe the date. And then we built this little fucking rock pedestal, and we put it up there like the fucking Master Sword. I wonder if that's still in use, or if somebody saw it and broke it and fucking used it as firewood. I hope not. You know, the thing about Rock Island is there's a lot of, I guess you call them standing rocks. Like, people put a bunch of rocks on top of each other, and, yeah. You know, what is it? Flacca's Talks and that podcast. I think he says something about, like, if he sees those, he likes to kick them over. And sometimes I get the urge, but at the other end, I'm like, you know, nah, somebody put these together. Who knows what the reasoning was. It's not me to disturb them. So I hope that mentality still rides out in the rest of that. And it really is kind of like that. I mean, the people there are super nice. I went to go get firewood, and I'm lugging this stupid-ass big fucking, I guess, like a I don't want to say a trolley. It's not a trolley. It's like a sled or something like that. Because when we first got on, first off, I gotta tell you something. I don't know if anybody has seen Sanguine. This dude, he really is a giant dwarf. Okay, so getting to Rock Island, you got to take a ferry to Washington Island. Now, the ferry to Washington Island is just that, a ferry. You can drive all the way to the dock at the other end of Washington Island. You got to take a boat to Rock Island. Now, that means you got to take everything that you're going to carry. So, Sanguine brought not only his camping gear, he brought like a shit ton of like food. He was carrying pretty much all the provisions of the fucking party. And he was also carrying the cookware. So giant blades, different kinds of blades. I think he brought like a whetstone or water stone or some shit. And then he brings a cast iron skillet and some tornado engine heater up thing that he was making coffee with. And he's carrying it all in one go. I mean, this dude's a fucking beast. He's a giant man. And he's fucking walking with all this, like 80 pounds of gear. And he's just walking up to the fucking boat, and he hands it over to the guys. And the guy is like, what the fuck is in this bag? And he just laughs. And he walks on the fucking boat. Dude, Sanguine is a fucking character. You gotta meet him in real life. He's fucking cool as shit. I mean, Quiz too, don't get me wrong. Like, he'll come in here and fucking, we'll shoot the shit. No problem. But I don't see Sanguine too often, so it's fun running around with him. He's a very jolly guy. And I'm pretty sure he hates this, but I'm going to say it anyways. If you want a depiction of what he looks like, just think Christmas Present, I believe, from Muppet Christmas Carol. The big, giant, red beard guy. Yeah, that's Sanguine. But he carried all this shit onto the boat, and then from the boat onto the up the hill to the area where we got the cart. The cart. Yeah, that's what it was. And we loaded everything on there. And this motherfucker proceeds to, by himself. I mean, I was walking next to him trying to help him carry stuff. Because me and Quiz, we had our own camping stuff on us. So, you know, we were carrying gear too, but Samuel was carrying extra shit. Excuse me. So, he was carrying the cart all on his own. All down this path. I mean, at least it was an easier path, but it's still it's not paved. It's dirt and rock and gravel and all this shit. And I think the wheel was busted on the cart. I probably should have picked a better cart, but I kind of retarded. So, yeah. But I was hanging out with him, walking with him. We stopped a few times, but we finally got there. And like I said, I'm just shocked that this dude fucking did that. So I'm carrying the cart, and I was struggling. I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, this sucks. How the hell did Sanguine do this? I go to get firewood. And here's how smart we are, all right? Everything is going up in price. The ferry went up in price. The boat went up in price. And the firewood went up in price. I think it was like $5 last year. Now it's $7. So we're like, and usually the firewood goes fast. So we're like, all right, so let's get 5 bundles. That should last us the 2 nights that we're here. 2 nights and 2 breakfasts, right? We probably don't need a lot for breakfast, but we need the fire. And so we pull the money together, and we got $47, and we're like, all right, that should be enough. We go down there, and I go, hey, so it's the gentleman, his wife was the head camp when we first got on the Rock Island. The lady's like, hey, I'm the camp lady guy person. The building behind you is the main building or something. You can go in there and read books and play board games and play the piano. Or the dock house, yeah. And over there is where the lighthouse is, and you can take the 2 different hiking trails to go there, and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. There's the bathrooms, and if you need anything, here's where we're at. So it was her husband, and their 2 kids. I go in to get some firewood, and I tell him, I'm like, yeah, so it's $7 for a bundle of wood, right? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, all right, well, here's 47. That should be enough for 5. And he's like, it's only $35. And I'm like, aha. Well, I'm a dumb, and I left my brain over in Washington Island, so I'm sorry. So that was nice, we overshot our math. But then the 2 little kids, they've got to have been like 7 and 6 years old. They start lugging the wood over to my cart. And the one little kid was having trouble putting it over the edge. So I'm like, fuck it. I can't watch little kids do work. So I'm like, hey, I got this kid. And I put it in there. He's like, thank you. We like loading the carts with wood. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. It's good to, pretty proactive. It's good to help out, right? And the other one goes, did you just get here? And I'm like, yeah, I just got off the last boat, and we were setting up camp, but I was tasked with getting the firewood. Right now, it was the next day. I was like, yeah, we got here, just whatever. And, I don't know, this is a fucking, wow, Adam. Yeah, it was the same day. So I'm like, yeah, we just got off the boat. I'm getting the firewood, and yeah, that's what I'm waiting for the other guy to get out of the shitter. And I'm like, but I've been here to this island a couple of times before, and I really love this island, and I look forward to coming to it because I look forward to coming. And they're like, and the little one goes, yeah, this is my 2nd year. I'm like, dude, you're like 6 years old. Dude, this is your first time everything, man. Just enjoy it that you're getting to grow up in this beautiful place with a seemingly loving family. And the father's like, oh, well, what's your name? And I'm like, Adam. And he's like, oh, I think his name is Steve. I don't know. I completely forgot it as soon as I walked away. And mainly because the littlest one goes, oh, our last name is Adam. I'm just like, hey, it's a good name. So I fucking, get the wood, and I'm like, all right, well, see you guys later. And they're like, hey, have a good night. And he's like, yeah, just remember to return the cart. And I'm like, and someone will. And so I start walking back, and I wait for Quiz and just enjoy the scenery and the view. Then we go back, and nicely, or I guess nice, they actually chopped up the firewood a lot better. Not so nice, because that's what I like doing. I like going there and just chopping wood. So it was difficult to find pieces to actually chop. but it lasted longer, so that was a good thing. The final night, we were able to just have a big old fucking fire pit. So in terms of that, we also had lure. Every year we go there, we tend to build on the lure of Rock Island. I think the first night we had Gremlin Granny. Gremlin Granny is a I don't know, apparition, specter. I don't want to say a demon per se, but I guess a gremlin. But Gremlin Granny is someone who, okay, this was sparked because Quiz and I one time were walking back with bundles of wood, and we found one on the path, and we both look at each other like, it's free wood, should we take it? And I'm like, probably not. We don't want to. We decided not to take the wood. We're like, yeah, just leave it. So we start walking and get back to camp. All of a sudden, we see a group of they were lesbians. You could tell. And they were walking past our campsite as we were, hanging out. And they start walking back, and they're like, hey, did any of you guys notice a bundle of wood on the path? And we were like, yeah, we actually walked past it. They're like, do you know what happened to it? We're like, well, no, So then we started goofing around and saying that there's this Gremlin Granny lady who goes around and stealing bundles of wood that she uses to cook children on the island. And she somehow turns people into flies, and the flies are spying on you. There's a lot of flies there, but it was also because, you're sweating balls in a campground, and you're taking a shit in a fucking latrine. So, yeah, it's not the greatest of smells, I guess. But yeah, so that's Gremlin Granny. This, and then can't remember what the other one was. I think there was one about like ghost sticker children that are on the tables or some shit. I don't know. But this year it came from a story that Quiz came about. He's like, there's a ghost story for Quiz or for Rock Island, and I'm like sitting there. It's already dark. It's pitch black except for the fucking fire pit. And I'm like, and we're camping next to a fucking cemetery. I'm like, this information could have been brought up when we're not on the island. Like maybe after. Don't put these thoughts in our head. And he's like, yeah, let me play the video. So he played the video, and it's this guy talking. And the only thing I gleaned out of it was there's a demon who will follow people and will squeal. And then when you turn around, you don't see anything. And apparently there's an abandoned house there that you're not supposed to go in, but some people camp in there and they get weird vibes. And so the main guy, the main character of this spooky story, he goes and talks to the camp counselor guy, the camp guy, whatever the fuck their name is. And he talks to him. He's like, hey, so yeah, did you hear about these squealing noises? He's like, oh yeah, and, sometimes you'll hear it at night and blah blah blah. And I think at some point the guy's like, you know what, I'm gonna try sleeping in that house and see what happens. And he goes and does it, and hears the squealing or something. And the next day he talks to the camp guy, and somehow the camp guy knew that he slept in there and saw some shit. And he just says, don't come back to the island or something like that. So Sanguine and I are like, the squealy man. The squealy man's going to get you when you're going to the bathroom at night. So you don't want to go to the fucking bathroom at night because you're going to hear squealy man. And apparently squealy man also wears excuse me. Squealy man apparently wears wheelies. So to get away quickly, he'll squeal from around a tree, and then he'll use his wheelies to get away really quickly. And this is Squealy Man. Does he fight with Gremlin Granny? I don't know. I like to think so. I like to think that they own different territories, and they don't like to cross each other's paths, like, you know, the DMZ. But sometimes maybe eventually they have like those West Side Story fights where they tie the hands together and they go to stab each other. So Wheelie Man, Squealy Man, and Gremlin Granny do some West Side Story justice in the middle of the fucking Rock Island. Right. Well, needless to say, that night I did not have a pleasant one. I don't know, perhaps too much booze or the food, or it was the demonic ghosts that got me, but I was uneasy for a good chunk of the morning. And then, yeah, let's just say that I fought demons in the toilet that morning, and it was not good. So we're packing up, we're getting everything ready to go back to the boat to get back to Washington Island and, you know, complete our journey. It was fun. It was fun camp setting. I honestly wish I had picked a better spot because it's fucking rock hard, and I think I was sleeping on a log because my back is fucked up. But yeah, I always like going out and hanging out in the woods. Like I said, my favorite thing is fucking just getting a good bundle of logs and keeping the fire going. So we end up heading back. We go through Washington Island, and we hit up a soup shop. Really, really packed place, with all the tourists and locals, but mainly tourists. You know, you could tell the tourists now. And we get our food. We head back. Did we make it? I think. Oh yeah, they stopped at there's this. Yeah, we made 3 stops. Well, after soup and sandwich, we went to this old like Viking church. I would not remember the name for the life of me. But it's like all black on the outside, and it looks like a fucking like a Viking church. And then you go in there, and it's all wood. It's all made out of wood, and it looks fucking awesome. And then we went on this prayer path that you go and you walk around this path in the back of the church, and there's a bunch of plaques with prayers that you can say. Honestly, I think my mom would have loved it. Wish she could have seen it. And then after that, we went to a lavender farm. They went in there to get lavender ice cream. Hey, I haven't tried it, but they say it's fucking delicious. All I know is when I was looking at all the things in there, everything was fucking super priced, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, for a little thing of scented, like a little scented pillow thing is like $40? The fuck? But, you know, that's me. So I was chilling in the car, and of course there's no reception out there, so it's not like I was sitting there on the phone or anything. Every now and then I got reception, so I can send stuff out, but most of the time it's just dead zones. And so they get out, we leave the lavender farm and head over to this other place. It's in the downtown area, the strip of buildings in Washington Island, and it's, I don't know, it's like a Norwegian gift shop. They sell, I think it's Norwegian, might be Scandinavian, I don't know, I don't want to get them mixed up. It's one of them. But they have a bunch of like paintings and handmade crafts. The building has the grass growing on the top of it and all that. And the main reason we go there is because there's a giant gnome statue in front of the building. And the first year we went there, we took a picture of Sanguine standing next to the gnome statue. And the second year we went there, he was holding my hatchet. And so this year, he was holding my hatchet, and because we thought we were going to go to Ren Fair, Quiz brought his longsword. So we have a picture of Sanguine standing next to this gnome with 2 weapons. And next year, if we go there again, the next time we go there again, we already have a helmet. And again, the people are all fucking super friendly. There's a grocery store there called Man's. It's pretty much family run, and the people will talk to you like you've lived there. You know, like you've never seen them before, but they'll talk to you like they know you. They've known you forever. It's fucking awesome. Kind of annoying at times, but you know, it's a nicer feeling than what you usually get out here. But yeah, the lady in there, she's like, "Oh yeah, you guys have been here before," and she's like, "You should use this helmet next time." And it's this Viking helmet with pigtails. I think it's probably from How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, so we got a plan for the next outing. And then we hit the boat, or we hit the ferry, and yeah, and we got on. And I will say I gotta give a shout out. And I know Angela would be mad, but Angela's not here, so I don't lose one for the movie tomorrow. Ha! Man, the crew lady who was leading the cars onto the ferry, whoo-wee, Bonnie way. That was a nice lady. I was telling Quiz, I was like, dude, I think I'm just gonna hop out the car and find a job here. I'm gonna live here. I think I'm gonna start living on Washington Island. So we get on the fucking boat. I fucking passed out. I didn't even think about it, but I was just chilling. I got that nice breeze. It was a longer ferry ride. I fucking pass out, and I wake up, and this guy is talking to his wife, but he's standing right over me, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do? And I see Quiz and Sanguine sitting next to me, and they get up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's time to go. But yeah. And then so we went. Oh, actually, I forgot. Well, I guess I could do this. So after that, we went to. We went back to the hotel, and as we're driving in, because I think we drove a different way in than before. Although I don't see how I could have not seen it, but as we're driving in, I notice right next to the fucking hotel is a big ass fucking cemetery. And I'm sitting there, I look at Quiz, and I'm like, dude, did you deliberately book these rooms and the plot sites next to cemeteries? Like, what the fuck? He's just like, hey man, we're on death's door. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? So, I don't know. I was kind of creeped out. But, you know, hey. You know, Quiz picks it, right? So, we get back, we got a different room than the last time. Same kind of setup, but just different location. We get everything set up, and they're looking at restaurants. And again, Quiz is still on his steak streak. He's had steak and eggs probably every night or every morning. And I think maybe a steak. Well, no, because I don't think the steak counts that we had in the ramen dish. But yeah, pretty much steak every morning. And so they're looking at steakhouses. And yeah, I was just fucking relaxing and enjoying the fucking hotel. So they find a place to go eat. And they read it, it was supposed to be like the lunch or early dinner special, and they read it as it started at 5:30, but apparently it ended at 5:30. And so they had this whole like Quiz was like, oh dude, I'm gonna get steak and a lobster tail, and because it was supposed to be like a super salad, a main entree, and a dessert for like $35 or something like that. And we still had to go to the Piggly Wiggly to get some foods for breakfast. because this hotel had a full kitchen too. So, well, not I guess not a full kitchen. It had a stove and a stovetop and all that. Some more excuses to get Sanguine to cook for us. Haha. That reminds me, I think it's so good. So, yeah, I don't know, what a coincidence, right, Raymond? So, about the Piggly Wiggly. The first night we arrived at the hotel, we went to the Piggly Wiggly to get provisions. And when we went to go check out, it was a cute lady. She had a really nice accent, but we couldn't figure it out. I thought she sounded kind of Russian. Quiz thought she sounded kind of Israeli. I mean, I guess I can kind of see both. But yeah, she was cute, and we were kind of flirting with her because we weren't flirting with her. The thing on one of the fucking card swap things was covered up, and it says, "Don't look here. There's nothing to see here," or something like that. And Quiz made a joke. He's like, "Yeah, you should put a mirror here, so you can see all the Piggly Wigglies." and she's like, "Yeah, that'd be a good idea." And I'm like, "You're gonna piss people off. They're gonna look at that and be like, hey." And she's like, "Yeah, but it's gonna be funny for us." And then Sanguine came up, and we all started just, chucking jokes, right? So as we're walking out, we started discussing the accent, and yeah, so we were making a joke about it, like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go see the cute Russian chick or the cute whatever chick at the Piggly Wiggly again." And so we're going to the restaurant first, and then we're gonna go to Piggly Wiggly. Go to the restaurant. Now, mind you, we just got back from camping. The second day after breakfast, we were all hanging out in the fucking lake pretty much most of the day. And when we got out of the lake, we just dried off in the sun. And then, yeah, fell asleep, woke up, packed all our gear, and went right on the boat, right to the hotel. So, we were fresh. Sanguine was the only one smart enough to go, I think I'm going to go take a shower before we go to dinner. And we were thinking nothing of it. I was like, you know what? I don't want to take a shower and have my hair all wet as I'm walking around in the place. I'm like, nah, I don't think I smell too bad. And Quiz is like, yeah, I don't think I smell bad. I'm like, I'll just put on some deodorant. That'll be fine. And wash my face, And I at least changed clothes too, so it wasn't like, I was wearing the same get up. But we pack in the car, we head out to this restaurant called Chop, I think. I think it was called Chop. Yeah, because I had the intention, when I saw it, I thought it was going to be like an Asian flair type restaurant, but it was a steakhouse. Well, that makes sense, I guess. Chop. Ugh. So we go in, and we are seated. And I'm looking around, I'm like, dude, this is like button-up shirt place. And I'm walking in here with a Vans t-shirt on. I'm like, and there's a hole in my armpit, and I'm wearing khakis and boots. Like this is not I'm not dressed appropriately. But then I look at Sanguine, and he's wearing like a flannel, and he always carries this fucking bag of salt. So he had a bag of salt with him, and of course, his big beard and beard ring, and of course Quiz is just Quiz. He's just hoodie and jeans. He's like, nah, don't worry about it, man. I'm like, all right. So yeah, it was a really nice restaurant. They gave us these giant fucking pieces of bread, and then of course Sanguine was like, do you know what these kinds of breads are? And I'm like, no, but I have a feeling you're gonna tell me. And he starts telling me. Now, I don't recall what it was. All I remember is it was like a hard out shell and a soft inner shell, and he was explaining how that happened, but I was too busy eating the bread. So yeah, so had that. We all got our drinks. I had an old fashioned, of course. But because Door County in Wisconsin is they do a lot with cherries. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about the distillery we went to. So obviously the old fashioned is going to have a little bit more of a cherry flavoring to it. And yeah, so we all got our drinks. And the waitress was a cute Romanian lady. So yeah, so we get all our food. I got a salmon. Sanguine got a duck leg, I think. And Quiz got, of course, a steak. So yeah, it was fucking delicious. We all had our fill, and yeah, we paid the bill. And as we were, we send off the bills, and she's going and running the cards and all that. And when she comes back, she drops off the what is it called? The folder thing. And she drops it off, and we're all, oh, hey, thank you. And she goes, were you guys camping? And I'm going to mess the story up because I am. She goes, were you guys camping? And I'm like, we're just like, I go, that's an odd question to ask. And she's like, well, because you guys smell like campfire. And I'm like, oh, it's a fine thing that you already charged us for the meals, and then you call us stinky. And she's like, and she just starts laughing. She's like, no, bro, I was saying I like the smell of campfire. I think it's cute. And we started talking about, camping, like, oh yeah, we came out from Chicago and camping. And as she's leaving, she's like, yeah, I wasn't calling you stinky. I was saying it's cute. And I'm like, all right, well, fucking walk away. I mean, you still call me stinky. That's not cute. Anyways, yeah, I have an issue with that. But like I said, she was cute, so it passes. Yeah, and so that became the talk for the rest of the trip. Between that and the other one. Oh, yeah, and then so we go Piggly Wiggly afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's our last night here. Let's get fucking sloshed and fucking pass out, wake up, and fucking mosey on back home. Or, yeah, mosey on back home. So we're picking up stuff. I got a nice bottle of rum, some foods and drinks. Sanguine got some beers and some other stuff, and we're going to check out. And it's the same cute Russian Israeli lady. And she's checking the thing. She's like, oh my God, you're going to hate me. And I'm like, what? She's like, in this town, after a certain hour, we're not allowed to sell liquor. And I'm just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. This is one of those towns. It's like, when I lived in Olympia, Washington, it was like that, like after 8 or 7 or 8 on Sunday, or if they even sold it on Sunday. But after a certain time, you were not able to purchase liquor. Like if they had it at a shop, it wasn't going to ring up. The liquor stores closed. So I'm sitting here like, fuck. And so Sanguine goes to run his stuff, and she's like, yeah, your stuff isn't ringing up either. And we're like, fuck. But one of Sanguine's, whatever Sanguine grabbed, it actually rang through. I think it was like a cider or something like that. And she's like, I think so. I mean, it's Wisconsin. It's a lot of red stuff up there, but some towns are like that. I can see that. Olympia, Washington is definitely blue. But yeah, so Sanguine goes and he's like, oh, this rings up. And it was like a cherry cider, I think it was. And I'm like, wait, so are there some beers that will ring up? And she asked her manager, and he's like, yeah, I think so. And I'm like, fuck. And so I ran to the fucking cold room, and I'm like, okay, what is the cheapest, shittiest looking beer? Because that's probably going to be what's ringing up. And I fucking find this beer called Hams. HAMMS, and the slogan for the beer is "It's beer, refreshing." So I'm like, all right, let's go. So I grab it, and she checks it out, and it goes through, and I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm not a big beer drinker. Not even like if I have to, I'll drink like, I don't know, if the opportunity is Sapporo, I would go Miller. See, I mean, even just thinking about it, it's like one of those things where it's, I don't. But even worse are like, hey, do you want to try this IPA or this? No, I'm good on that. You enjoy it. It's not for me. And I think the one thing that really crapped me out personally on that is out here in Elgin. There's this place. Yeah, no, yeah. It's beer ... refreshing. It is so bad. It was refreshing though. But yeah, no, out here in Elgin, there's this bar that sells craft beer infused with coffee, and I had a few of those, and I got real sick afterwards, and never again. 1 second. Hi. Here. I thought you were clawing at the door. Sorry, Jake was clawing at the door. What? So anyways, so we get the beer, we head back, and yeah, we pretty much just hang out. Oh, and I guess we'll do two back. The story's all over the place. It's like some artsy fartsy movie. Monday, we watched Superman, the new one, legitimately. And actually, I thought it was pretty good. There was a few times I thought Superman looked like Brendan Fraser from The Mummy. But ultimately, I thought it was a fun movie to sit through. I really like how Lex Luthor was like master crafting everything. The bad guys were pretty good. But I hate to say it, but I really like Green Lantern. He was pretty funny. He was a funny character to me, and I like how the other team members on the Justice Gang, I think they were called, they didn't like him either. So it was pretty cool seeing how that played out. But of course it's a James Gunn movie, so they're gonna have some dated music to play alongside it. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna wait, I'd wait. This one and Fantastic Four I really wanted to see for some reason, and I wasn't disappointed. I did see some reviews where they were talking about how Superman seems to be a little bit more like getting a little bit more beaten up, and he needs help from people. It wasn't so much that. The only person who was beating him up was Ultraman, but when you watch the movie, you understand why. But no, yeah, no, I thought it was a good movie to watch. But then again, I thought the Thunderbolts was pretty good, even though that didn't have a lot. It should have had a lot more action in it, but I thought that was pretty good. So I definitely want to see Fantastic Four, see how that turns out. But yeah, you got to get Jake a Superman cape, right, Jake? Oh. So yeah, so actually, I guess going back to the first day, we met up with Sanguine at this place called Reynolds Cheese. Ah, yeah, okay. So here's a weird story. We get to Reynolds Cheese probably like an hour and a half before Sanguine got there, and so it's a place. It's It's Wisconsin. It's cheese. I believe Quiz got some beef sticks that had like bourbon flavored beef sticks or something. And then he got string cheese, but it was in a bag. It was the weirdest thing. He's like, "You want some?" I'm like, I'm not even a big fan of cheese curds, so I mean, these things aren't for me. I like that they had a lot of cherry items, and they did have this one candy that I've been eyeing, and kind of it's been in the back of my mind, where it's like, there they called them sour cherry candies, but it's like a candied outer shell with like a jelly inner shell or inside, and it's supposed to taste like cherries. I've always wanted those, are like blueberry ones. I don't know why it popped in my head, but I was like, oh shit, hey, they got them. Should have picked some up. I got some different candy. I'll get to that later. But. So yeah, we're hanging out at Reynolds Cheese, and then as soon as we get in there, Quiz is like, "Hey, I'm gonna use the restroom." I'm like, "All right." Now this place, it has an ice cream parlor where you can get different kinds of ice cream and I think custards probably, and then a restaurant where they cook you some foods, and then a shop and you can get some items, and then of course cheese and meats, and then there's an area where you can go and sit down and eat your food. So Quiz goes to the back, to the bathroom, and I'm standing in front of like a thing of cheese area, right? And I'm texting Sanguine like, "Hey, dude, we're here at Reynolds, and let me know when you get around." And I was like, yeah, he probably is not gonna respond to texts while he's driving, so probably should give him a call. So instead, I was scrolling through Twitter because I had some connection there. A group of people come in, 3 of them, 2 guys and 1 girl. Girl is wearing a very vibrant pink dress. Now they come in, they're looking around, and I'm just standing there. And again, I hate to say it, but I do stick out like a sore thumb in Wisconsin. What you'll find is a lot of tall white people, mostly clean shaven. I'm a little brown guy with long black hair and a big black beard, and tattoos all over the place, and not like, oh hey look, that's a really cool Marvel themed tattoo sleeve. No, it's random shit because it was the style at the time. So I'm just chilling there, and of course I'm wearing my boots, but they're not tied, so I look like a wreck. But I was just waiting for people to show up. That's all I was doing. So I'm standing there on my phone, and these people come by, and the one guy goes, "I need to use the bathroom." And he goes to the bathroom. And the other guy goes, "I need to use the bathroom too." And he goes over there. And then I look up because I'm like, that's strange. Because then, I can hear them trying to open the door. I think it was like probably one stall or whatever. And this lady looks me dead in the eyes. "I need to use the restroom too." And she starts walking, and then she breaks the gaze. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I looked, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I text Quiz. I'm like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna wait outside for you." And I tell him this, and I'm like, dude, this is the weirdest thing. So eventually Sanguine shows up, and he orders. Of course, this is what I love about Sanguine. He goes somewhere, and it's not just oh hey, what's up guys, meet up and then go to our next destination. No, he went there and he got himself some ice cream. He got a couple of things of cheese, and I think he got a melt, like a patty melt or something like that. Oh, and a milkshake. No, not an ice cream, milkshake. So he's enjoying fucking vacation. God bless him, And but the other thing too is, he's a loud guy. He does not. If there's a room, he's gonna speak at volume 10, regardless. So, Quiz. Hey, so what did you get? Well, I got a patty melt with mushrooms and onions. and this cheese. And he just goes off and explaining everything, and I'm sitting there like, dude, the whole group of table next to us is fucking like, they're probably like, what the hell? He's a very bombastic guy, but a very chill guy, you know. I'm sure you've seen this show before, right? Oh, we've gone an hour, huh? Okay, well, time to wrap it up. So yeah, so wait, have we got an hour? Oh, 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 it's magic. Yeah, I don't know. Probably. So anyways, I'll finish up the story. It's coming to a close anyways. So after the cheese place, we head over to a distillery. I can't remember the name of the distillery, but, you know, they do tours. You go there, you can do a taste test, and you get test out a couple of wines. And, yeah, they're pretty good wine. And of course, fucking Quiz and Sanguine get a bunch of bottles of what they enjoy. And then after that, of course, they also have a sampling at the bar, because there's the wine area and the gift shop and then the bar. And of course, they have fudge and cheese and meat sticks and all that. It's fucking Wisconsin, dude. They got all that shit everywhere. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not signing out yet. I'm going to finish up soon, Raymond. But, hey, thanks for hanging out, man. And, yeah, I've seen some of the stuff of Ironheart, and it looks interesting. Especially how she infused the suit with magic. I want to see how that works out. And I still got to see what Eyes of Wakanda is about. We drove through Wakanda. No, so at the distillery, we were sitting there, and, you know, we're separated, like, Quiz is doing his thing, I'm walking around, and Sanguine goes to the bar, and he does the taste test of their bourbons. And so he's going through, I'm just standing next to him, chilling. I look to my left, all of a sudden, guess who it is? The fucking weirdos, bathroom weirdo people. They fucking walk in, I'm like, holy shit. Quiz is on the other side of Sanguine. And I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, dude, that's the broad. That's the lady who fucking was staring me down. I'm like, we gotta get the fuck out of here, dude. So, Sanguine finished up his drinks, and we headed out. Wow, I can't believe I spent a whole... Has it been? Yeah. Ha! Okay. Well, shit. I mean... I guess it's better to spare you with the, me playing golf, although I could have been doing that. Give you some, at least a little bit better to watch than just a brick wall. But yeah, so after that, today, we woke up from the hotel. I fucking drove out, and there's a place that we always stop at too, at Sturgeon Bay. It's a game shop. They sell board games, card games, comic books, and the owner is really nice, and gets Quiz and Sanguine some good deals on their Warhammer stuff. But he also lets them play in the game rooms. He has a bunch of rooms at the top floor that they set up for D&D, Warhammer, all that stuff. And every year they've been going and playing Warhammer there. This year I managed to bring a better setup, and they had a TV set with a PS4. So I hooked my laptop up to that, and I was just playing Warcraft and Warcraft 3 and shit while they were playing Warhammer. They got a good game in. Sanguine won. I think Quiz pulled some wrong moves in the beginning of the game, and he did this orc yell where he goes rawr, and because people in people in Discord wanted a video of it or audio of it, Quiz did it again. And that made the owner guy come up there and he's like, I know you guys are enthusiastic about playing the game, but you're making all the other shop owners look at me like I'm crazy. So could you please keep it down? And they were like, yeah. And that's where I had the last of my my hams. So all in all, it was a good day. And then after that, we went to a candy shop, and I got my cherry candies, and that was it. Oh, we went back to the bad guy town, and Quiz bought a bunch of Warhammer stuff from the game shop that was closed earlier. And then we came home, and that's where we're at. So I'm gonna give Sanguine a call after this, see if he's home safe, or at least a message. Hey, thanks Raymond Lewis for hanging out. Thanks anybody who was listening in on the stream. I hope you found it entertaining. I hope you had a chuckle. But either way, I've been your host, Adam of Clan Veggie the First. I want to thank everybody for hanging out and listening. Love y'all. God bless. And the zoo's closed.